with Iran, Mr. President. To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
Did you say earlier that the only thing that matters to you when it comes to Iran is a nuclear weapon? You're not considering the financial impact of this war on Americans?
The most important thing by far, including whether our stock market, which by the way is at an all-time high, but including whether or not our stock market goes up or down a little bit, the most important thing by far is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
What about the pressure on Americans and prices right now?
Every American understands.
And listen, guys, we are back. The time, of course, it's time for you to log into Facebook. Be sure to like our WVON page. Interact with me. I'll be sure to talk back with you. If you would like to keep up with me exclusively, be sure to follow me across all social media platforms at Follow Cleopatra. Be sure to like and subscribe to my new YouTube channel. Check me out. Like and subscribe. Share with your neighbors. Share with whomever. Because here's what it is. It's a thoughtful Thursday on the TCS. And you heard from the 47th president of these United States of America speak to the world. And he said he doesn't care, not even a little bit, about Americans' financial struggles and situations at this moment in time. The only thing he cares about is whether or not Iran has nuclear weapons. That's the only thing he cares about. In fact, he was extremely braggadocious in terms of the stock market and how it's crescendoed. It's at an all-time high. I want to know what you care about, America. And I'm not just exclusively talking to Black America. The time, of course, is Delta time. It's 9:13, and the phone lines are definitely yours. 773-591-1690. He is at a historical low in modern history when it comes to approval ratings. Only to the second lowest in history, which was his first administration. And he literally said and doubled down on the fact that he can care less, not even a little bit. And then I watched the grand old party make the rounds on the networks to say, oh, President Trump didn't mean that. He cares a lot about America and Americans and their financial strife. In fact, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said he talks to him profusely about it a couple times out the day. Listen, Linda, when you hear a lie, what do? Does it make you itch? Does it make you twitch? I'm curious to know whether or not you all care. This is the same grand old party that trolled President Obama for wearing a tan suit. This man has said and done the most egregious things. Gas on the West Coast is nearly $7 a gallon, and that's just regular. Here at home, on the home front, I've seen it tiptoe to $6. And he said he doesn't care not even a little bit. Not even teeny weeny. Do you feel the pain? You got any buyer's remorse? 773-591-1690. Now, today's discussion is a thoughtful Thursday. And I'm opening up with a heavy heart because heaven gained an angel. And I'm declaring this child to be an angel because he was just that, a child. And he lost his life tragically in a drive-by shooting in 2026. I'm still processing that. Not only did he die, the Uber driver died too on the finer parts of the west side of Chicago, and he was a star. His coach is going to join me shortly. And I want to raise awareness about his life, his spirit, the program he was a part of, and his family. For his mother weeps, and so does his father, and his family grieves. How did we get here? And why are we always here? And I'm exclusively talking to Black America. And I don't know We don't know who took this young man's life. All we know is that he's no longer here. So for Thoughtful Thursday, I wanted to be very thoughtful in my intentions on raising up who this young baby was and the potential that was robbed from him. So that's at 9:30. In addition to that, I got to swing down to Mississippi. God damn. Let me tell you something about Congressman Benny Thompson, who I know very well. And Congressman Thompson is beloved in Mississippi. And yet Tate Reeves got time for racism, and I'm talking about the governor, who likes to steal from the poorest of these in Mississippi when it comes to those that are recipients of welfare benefits. How's he still in office? I don't know, but it is Mississippi. And I'm going to tell you what Governor Reeves is up to, because it never ceases to amaze me, because it segues into the question of the day. Now, I opened up with your president saying he cannot care not even a little bit about our financial strife, and he's talking to Americans as he's currently in China licking at the chops of that president, begging and pleading at the chops, and they ain't giving him the time of day, but he is there. So the question of the day is, how much of a priority is racism in America? Now, I thought about this. Yesterday, I was presenting a question. I was mulling it around with my husband, and usually I don't do that because, he'll say one thing and then jack up my whole program. And I love me some Likert scales. I told you all, in another life, I'm a statistician. I'm a data wonk. But I scaled back a little bit. So to answer this question, here's how I want the response to go. How much of a priority is racism in America? Very high, high, somewhat, not high, doesn't exist. Because like I just said to us, in Mississippi of all places, now I took us to Louisiana, that's 50 of 50, but Mississippi not too far behind. Of all places, you got time to try to oust the sitting black congressman who's been there for a period of time, and he ain't no punk. You got to remember, Congressman Benny Thompson led the brigade in terms of the J6 rioters and the charges against Donald Trump. So they've been mad. But Congressman Thompson been putting on for Mississippi, and he is loved, and I know him personally. So here's what I want to know. For Governor Reeves, you got time for the racism to permeate and continue in Mississippi, but you ain't got time to take care of the poorest Mississippians, to fix the water crisis in Mississippi, to address the infrastructural needs of Mississippi, but you got time for the racism. But it's not just exclusive to Mississippi. As one of 50 states, the point I'm making overall to the country, when it comes to America, what is the priority of racism? When we come back, I see the phone lines are lit, and I see you all in the chat. It's a thoughtful Thursday, and we're going there. Your president said he could not care, not even a little bit, about your financial strife during these times. We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
With your help, the Illinois Lottery generated $784 million for education last year. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise even more. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds are available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Video gambling terminals aren't owned by us. They're owned by out-of-state corporations that have never invested in our neighborhoods or our families. They take the money, we take the hit. These machines kill union jobs and drain pension funds for first responders. When these machines move in, crime goes up, break-ins rise. Our community pays the price. We deserve good union jobs, safer streets, and real investments that stay here and build something lasting. Tell City Council, repeal video gambling terminals. Paid for by Neighborhoods Safety First Association.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
Hey, Chicago, this one is for you. Join OG Mr. Rick for the OG Culture Report every Thursday night from 9 to 12 right here on WVON 1690 AM. We're talking the culture, our stories, the streets, politics, entertainment, our struggles, our wins, and the voices that matter. Don't miss it. Every Thursday night, 9 to 12, the OG Culture Report with yours truly, OG Mr. Rick, on WVON 1690. That's it. That's all.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, and family history of kidney failure. All three put you at risk for kidney disease. We are at increased risk and should get screened. This is host LaDonna Ray. Every Tuesday in May at 3:30 p.m. during our health and wellness campaign, the National Kidney Foundation of Illinois will talk with us about kidney health, treatment options, free health screenings, and more. Tune in Tuesdays at 3:30 p.m. and go get screened. Visit kidneymobile.org or call 312-321-1500. That's 312-321-1500.
This Saturday on Meeting the Moment, we're talking digital risk and real-world impact. Because in today's environment, it's not just about protecting your data, it's about protecting your message and your credibility. Adrian Ball of Project Sincere joins us to break down how organizations can manage risk in a digital world that never slows down. Tune in this Saturday at 12 noon for Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, right here on 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Things are looking much better along the Ryan, right on time. Now a 24-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. How about things are pretty quiet? Things have quieted down quite a bit along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, now both down to a 17-minute trip. If you're on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, you're looking at just about 17 minutes from 67th Street to Jackson, a 19-minute trip from Hollywood to Monroe. The Stevenson, much better, now 40 minutes in from I-355 to DuSable Drive. Outbound, still just about a 40-minute trip. That's mainly due to moving road work right now from Damon to Pulaski Road. If you're on the Eisenhower, you're looking at 56 minutes in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, outbound a 50-minute trip. And the Kennedy, 50 from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport, a 43-minute trip. You want to also factor in an accident traveling out. It's on the exit ramp at Canfield. Taking a look at our weather, sunny and mild today. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of around 67, a low tonight of 41. It's 58 at O'Hare, 58 degrees in South Chicago, and 58 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 9:24. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, I played a clip of your president. That's right, Donald John Trump, admitting to the world that he cannot care, not even a little bit, about Americans struggling financially right now because his concern is Iran not having a nuclear weapon. I want to know how you feel about that. And on top of that, he was extremely braggadocious about the stock market being at the highest of its peak this year. Can you feel that? Do you receive any of that benefit? To whom is he talking to? Gas is $7 on the West Coast, tiptoeing nearly $6 here in the Midwest, and he cannot care, not even a little bit. 773-591-1690. Of course, it's a Thoughtful Thursday, and I'm being real thoughtful in my presentation to you. Was your president? Let's go to the phone lines. I am going to talk to Justin Blake. Welcome to WVON.
Hey, Cleopatra, how you doing, baby? We love your show, and you're doing great.
I appreciate it.
The president clearly is a racist. Is clearly trying to bring back the South whenever they're discussing removing the 14th Amendment. Do you know what that would mean to black people and African descendants? We would no longer be considered Americans. They would be willing to take our citizenship. So it would behoove us to really rally the wagons. We still spend the 37th amount of money. We could be our own little nation. And maybe we need to do that within a nation.
No, I appreciate you being astute, listening to the show, of course. And hey, we're waving the WB sign. Thank you so much for the call, Justin. Let's talk to Brother B. Brother B, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
All praises be to Allah. I want to say that first. What I want to say, when the highest when the highest court of the country is against the black peoples, I would say hate the black peoples, and the lowest courts of the states hate black peoples, and the president of the country hate black people. One question to you, Sister Neil. I want you to please let me back up everything I'm saying and answer my own question. What can the people do from that point on? What can we do?
What can we do, Brother B?
Could you answer that? If you can't
Oh,
answer
sure.
that,
I thought you said you wanted to answer your own question.
I want to, after you answer it, I want to tell you how I feel about that.
I don't have an answer. I feel like the only answer is to ignite with our electoral power. But at this point, the elongated game of chess has been 40 years in the making, and ultimately, I could not foresee them moving the goalposts so extreme that we just breaking every rule that was once instituted to have this major white power grab. I really don't know. I just stop the steal. You know, they came up with the slogans because they were enacting the crime under the campaign lead. So besides voting, I don't know.
Okay. Look, I need just let me go on. The only thing the people can do of this country when all the highest, everybody in charge is against black people and hate black people, we have to turn to God. That's our only outlet is to turn to God. So I'm a member of the Black American Negro Reparation Group. We're all veterans, a few of us. We're all between the ages of 79 and 84. And what we want to do, all those in this country, push National Action Network and all our organizations in this country, we want you all to do something for us. We're not good on the TV and on the phone. We don't know how to get all this together because we are over age, you know. So what we want you all to do for us is to help us to talk to every black church in America. Every black church in America. We want you to we want to have one prayer day for every black church in America and all black peoples in America and all peoples in America that love America to come with us, to pray with us, and let's ask God to stop that which they are trying to do to America. They are trying to.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. It's been about 3 minutes. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, I can't go past a certain amount of time, but I have other calls. So Thurgood, Keith, Anthony, I got it. The main message is you want a national action of prayer for those that are willing to pray. But after you're done praying, you still have to act. God bless the child that has his own. When we come back, it's a Thoughtful Thursday, and I'm going to welcome McKinley Nelson. He was the coach to Damarion Johnson, the young angel that lost his life on the west side of Chicago, 18 years young. And he's going to speak to Damarion and his spirit, his abilities on the court, and his promise on a collegiate level. Ultimately, when we come back, I want you all to think think long and strong as to how we can prevent the actions of this to precipitate as we embark upon the summer here in Chicago. You don't want to miss this.
Clear skies and a plenty of sunshine as temperatures climb well into the 60s. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. Later this morning, community violence prevention groups are set to gather at the state capitol in Springfield to ask for continued state funding. Group organizers say their programs are helping to reduce shootings and murders in Chicago and throughout the county. A rally is set for 11:15. A mother's desire to give her daughter a prom day memory has landed her a lawsuit. The city of Markham is now suing Park District Executive Quintina Brown, who authorized the landing of a chopper on May 8th for the purpose of a photo op for her 17-year-old daughter. In the suit, attorneys for the city of Markham says that Brown violated city zoning laws and also created a safety hazard.
And she was graduating, and this was going to be a memorable experience. I just wanted to be able to provide that for her. I didn't think that it was going to blow up as much as it did.
A status hearing for the case is set for Tuesday. Well, there's new information this morning about the kidnapping of a CTA bus driver at Knife Point. It happened in the wee hours yesterday at around 2:30 a.m. when a man jumped on the number 53 southbound bus at Pulaski. CTA officials say he forced the driver not to stop for about 3 miles off her route. The 57-year-old driver tripped a silent alarm and managed to escape through the driver's side window at Clark in Delaware and jumped inside a supervisor's vehicle. CTA union leaders are speaking out, saying on CTA surveillance, the video shows a man making jabbing motions with what looked like a hunter's knife. Police say the alleged kidnapper didn't get far and was arrested. This comes the same day as CTA's big announcement that serious crimes on the transit system has significantly dropped in April compared to the same month last year. However, union leaders say CTA's crime numbers don't account for the daily offenses against transit workers because those crimes are not reported to police, only CTA. Chicago Public Schools are leaning toward cutting jobs and upping class sizes to balance the budget. Perry Williams has more.
The move is due to the proposed $10 billion spending plan having a $732 million budget deficit. School board member Machilla Blaze says the school district is prepared to slash some critical positions.
These are not abstract figures. They represent direct losses to programs throughout the district. Counselors, bilingual coordinators, interventionists, and academic coaches.
The school board has until the end of August to pass a balanced budget. I'm Perry Williams.
Meanwhile, Chicago Teachers Union President Stacey Davis Gates tells WVON that the threat to make cuts is nothing new. WVON's Logan Page has that story.
She warned the reductions could impact staffing, classroom resources, and student services.
I was hopeful this year that they would take a different approach to this structural deficit and actually give people some leadership and guidance instead of fear and anxiety.
Education leaders continue debating how to address the shortfall while limiting impacts on schools and educators. Logan Page, Our News Now, WVON 1690.
That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 9:34.
It's a hot summer kickoff at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel, where you could win a share of $150,000 and a brand new Porsche Macan. Join our all-white summer prelude and win a share of over $15,000 in cash and free play every Friday. Then the grand finale starts May 23rd at 7 p.m. That's when one lucky guest will drive off in a sleek new Porsche, exclusively at the bigger, newer, hotter Wind Creek Casino and Hotel. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Matt McGill.
Matt, we did want to give you a little how do you do today from McGuire. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? You may think you're upper class, but you're just the horses. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do?
Thank you, guys.
McGuire, you're welcome.
Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church, tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
Maybe it was Rufus and Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries, or Cleopatra and Archbishop Blaise Supich. Perhaps it was Matt and Regina Bell, or even LaDonna and Atiba talking with Mayor Brandon Johnson. Maybe it was Lori Smith meeting the moment. It was a great discussion with great information, and somehow you missed it. Guess what? It's still available. Check out the podcast. These and many more are available on WVON.com and on SoundCloud.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why Blindster.com makes it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and they guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
No changes in your travel times, but this just in. There's some police activity right now that has Pulaski Road shut down in both directions. Up to Polk Street, and that's mainly due to some police activity, as I mentioned. They're also rerouting the number 53 Pulaski buses temporarily. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing a lot of sunshine today and mild. Temperatures are expected to climb near 67 today, 41 tonight. We're up to 58 degrees at O'Hare, is 58 in Olympia Fields, and 58 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
And we are back. The time is 9:38. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. And of course, it's a thoughtful Thursday. And it is with a heavy heart. As a mother, a Black woman, born and raised in the city of Chicago, when I read about or learn about moments where lives, souls snatched from this earth, I cringe, especially when they are just budding. And here we have Damarion Johnson, a superstar on the court, amazing student, loving son, all of these great accolades, on the precipice of embarking upon his collegiate journey. Life is just at the palm of his hand, ready to roll off the tip, as he's done many times on the court. 18 years young. And his life is lost to yet another senseless act of violence, gun violence, but in particular, a drive-by, when he is taken off into an Uber. So common to all of us, and yet the West Side weeps, and we mourn with them across the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. And when I think about the impact of this community, Garfield Park, many a times on Homan at that, is just so common. On the live line is McKinely Nelson, serves as the founder of Project Swish. And if you've ever picked up a ball, you've made it go swish. And I think that that's a special attribute. He's devastated, but he's taken the time to come talk to us, because my commitment today is not only to tell a special story about Damarion Johnson that only he could tell, but to raise awareness and to yield support to his family. Coach Nelson, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on to the Cleopatra Show.
Good morning.
Good morning. So yeah, I want to pay homage to this baby because so many have come across my desk as a former educator. And now that I serve in this role, this is almost every other day in some kind of way across the country. But this was just so unusual to me. So I want you to begin wherever you like, but I want you to tell us who he was and his spirit, because he clearly was something special.
For sure. I could talk about his personality first. Super good kid, super funny, lively, energetic, kind of just like the biggest light in the room, honestly. We were going back through photos and videos, and almost all of the clips he was smiling or cracking jokes or making everybody laugh. I tried to find like words to describe his relationship to the organization when we had the balloon release, and I just kind of came up with him being like the heartbeat of our foundation. To be honest with you, like we had an event last night, and it didn't feel the same without him being in the gym with us. So super great personality. And then as far as on the basketball court, super talented kid as well. He had a full scholarship, waiting on him that he wasn't able to accept because his life was cut short. So we're definitely hurting over the loss of Damarion.
And, I hear you when it comes to the spirit of people, it does change the dynamic. So overall, just an amazing human being. How did we get here? Do you all have any inclination how this came to be?
I know just as much as anybody else, to be honest with you. I found out through another kid in the organization. I saw, some of the news articles being played back after I had a couple of interviews, and I saw the video, and, everything that the public knows is what I know. I don't have any inside information, to be honest with you. I just know that he was playing basketball, something he loved doing, something he enjoyed doing every single day. And on his way home, his life was taken from him. So this is pretty much where I am with it.
And it's so unacceptable. I want to speak to you as the creator. To found an entity is not easy because you have to maintain it, but it came with a premise. And here you go. You have a young man that's dedicated to something he loves to do, but you created a safe space. And that was why. Why did you create Project Swish?
Honestly, I grew up in the city, on the South Side, and I lost a lot of my own peers and friends to gun violence. And the common denominator I had between, myself and them was the game of basketball. So I figured if I created a platform or a program where I could use the game to keep my friends around, I would be in a much happier place. And the program ended up growing, and it just became less about my friends and more about the city of Chicago. We've expanded, and over the last, 7.5 years, we've had about 10, 11,000 kids be a part of the organization. So to tie it back to Damarion, it does feel a little deflating that we created these safe spaces for these kids to be safe and be in a nonviolent area, and we still lose them. The gun violence is definitely a painful feeling. So that's just, been my emotions as of late. Honestly, we lost another kid in November, Armani Floyd, during the Christmas lighting downtown. That was like one of the bigger stories too.
The baby that goes to my church, that went to my church. He was Trinitarian.
Yeah, he was a part of our program, and he was a frequent member. Every single week he would be at our programming as well. And so we did what we could to, carry his legacy out, and, bury him the proper way. And now we're going through this all over again a few months later. So,
You know what? I want to pause and, just give condolences because I was at church and I heard his family speak. I believe it was maybe his father. I can't really recall because I had just given birth to my third son. So I'm a boy mom on top of this. So I'm very emotional when it comes to some of this coverage. It devastates me. It truly does. And when I heard his father speak, I you know, it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like it hurts me in a way, especially when I'm watching electoral leadership sift through which cases get special attention. And when I see these Black boys do not get the opportunity to grow as men, it hurts on a whole nother level. Because as a Black woman, it is my job and duty until the day I die to make safe space, and to support Black men. I'm just committed that way. But when I see young men, young boys robbed of an opportunity to become men, that bothers me in a way that's unforgivable. So to know that was that young man was a part of your program, you're doing something special. And I want, when we come back, to let us know how we can support, because 10 to 11,000 young boys taken to your court under your leadership is something special. And I'm sure, despite your emotions, for everybody that is pouring into you to keep the momentum, it is for us to be the wind beneath your wings. We're talking to Coach McKinley Mitchell, and he has done something extraordinary. And is it Mitchell or Nelson?
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Attention shoppers, after 65 years, Sid's Clothing and Hats is hanging up their hats, and you're invited to the retirement sale of a lifetime. Now through May 30th, everything in the store is on massive discount. That's every hat, every cap, and every accessory. It's our biggest sale ever, with prices you have to see to believe. Visit Sid's today at 609 West Roosevelt Road. While hats last and stock is moving fast, you'll find styles you love at prices you'll adore. Hurry in, retirement sale ends May 30th. Sid's Clothing and Hats, where style meets savings. One last time.
Ready to fire up your taste buds, Chicago? Black-owned Kodo Hibachi serves fresh, authentic hibachi and sushi, served with a smile. Grab takeout, order delivery, or dine in casual style. No flaming show, just flavor that steals the spotlight. And hey, tell them WVON is your favorite radio station and get 10% off your order. Visit them at 258 West 31st Street. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 8, Friday and Saturday till 9, Sundays till 7. And don't forget, tell them WVON is your favorite radio station and get 10% off your order. Kodo Hibachi, where flavor meets culture.
Pull up to the flagship location at 258 West 31st Street and stay tuned. The Kodo family is growing. New location coming soon.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
CTA is coming to WVON. Sundays, 7 p.m., not the train. A call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Still, no major changes in your travel times. We're still tracking what's happening on the west side where Pulaski Road is shut down in both directions right there at Polk. Apparently, there's some police activity happening in that area. The number of 53 Pulaski buses are temporarily rerouted. As we take a look at our weather, we're seeing a plenty of sunshine as temperatures climb near 67 today. We're up to 59 at Midway. It's 59 in Auburn Gresham and 59 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 9:51. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show, and it's a Thoughtful Thursday. And I'm raising up the fact that heaven got an angel. Damarion Johnson, 18 years young, life was cut down short, a basketball superstar, and well on his way to his collegiate opportunity that would have been life transformational. And yet he was robbed of it. And who's made a way for him is his coach, Coach Nelson, founder of Project Swish. More than 10,000 or more youth have taken flight into this program, but since November, he's lost 2 youth to gun violence. And Coach Nelson, for what it's worth, what I was saying to you, and I hope that folks are pouring into you, you're doing something special. And we need you to continue to do something special because clearly you have created a safe space for so many that have found this to be invaluable. Before Damarion Johnson's family, I asked you all to come on because we want to be of support. So what ways can we support the Johnson family?
For sure. If people wanted to donate something towards his mom and the funeral arrangements, I would recommend they go directly to the funeral home or get in contact with the funeral home and figure out how to donate that way. We've done our part over at Project Swish, contributing to the efforts of burying the right way. However, there is some additional help that's needed, and they can contact Brian Pickett Funeral Home, which is on 5301 West Madison, and their phone number is 773-413-7774. As I mentioned, if anybody that was listening wanted to contribute to the cause of burying Damarion the right way, then go directly to a funeral home, not through Project Swish, not through a family member, not through a link that you see on the website, directly to the funeral home, and they can handle it from there.
Hey, you said Brian Pickett.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I definitely appreciate that information. And what I'll do is I'll continue to reiterate it from now until tomorrow. And when it comes to the continuation of your program, educate us. For those that are listening, that want to invest and or support and or send their youth to you, how can they get involved?
Yeah, we have a website that's active and running, also Instagram, but both of those are Project Swish Chicago. The website will be projectswishchicago.com. And our Instagram is just Project Swish Chicago. There's open enrollment for all of our programming, and it's at absolutely no cost. So whenever kids get an opportunity to play ball or to be involved in anything that we have going on, like last night, we had a mental health May event where all the kids kind of talked to a therapist, and we had about 110 kids in there. So there's so many things that we're doing on a weekly basis. We have programming 5 to 6 nights every single week. And they can get all of that information either through the website or our Instagram page.
Well, I definitely appreciate the time that you shared with us. And when is the services for Mr. Johnson?
I don't think that we've locked in a date, to be honest with you. They actually suffered another loss a couple of days prior before with Damarion's grandmother. So they're actually burying 2 family members in a short amount of time. I think they're trying to get through the first one before they lock in with Damarion's arrangements. But we do know the funeral home that'll be held at, and where the services will be held. We just don't have a date right now.
My God. Well, one thing about it, you have a commitment for me. I have the TCS team circle back with you. And then for those that are listening, Damarion Johnson, 18 years young, life was cut short. A basketball superstar, an amazing kid all around. And if you would like to support in any way, please donate any proceeds that you may have to the Bryant Pickett Funeral Home, location 5301 West Madison Street. I'll be sure to share this information in our chat, and I look forward to supporting Project Swish in any way I can. You just call.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on this morning.
Absolutely. So listen, guys, I see you all on the live line. I got to let the coach go. He got some work to do. I'm going to go back to the phone lines. But for what it's worth, Marsha Reed said something. And we can let the coach go. Marsha Reed said, this reminds me of Ben Wilson. And I felt that way too. In fact, I gave my uncle a call, who's listening all the way from Florida and was one of Ben's closest friends. For those that remember the story of Ben Wilson from Simeon High School. And, you know, when we think about young people and the potential, it is immense. And this young man was clearly dedicated and motivated. And for him to have lost his life this way is cruel. Here's what I want to say. To anybody that knows something or saw something, you should say something. It doesn't hurt. You can do things anonymous. There are phone recordings. There's something out here that will help somebody know something about what happened. But this was no accident. This was with intent to kill. And he is no longer here. And I think that that's a cruel way. So I have to encourage us in some point, because this happened in Black community. So Black Chicago, we need to rise up, because there's a Black mother and father that is hurting. And when I think about the tragic loss of what he could have been, that hurts us all. So when we continue to lose talent that once graced this earth, you know, we have to fill a void. But we also have to protect those that are here. So I thought about Ben Wilson as well, which made me give my uncle a call, but I forgot to mention it to him. But I know he's listening, because I told him that I was going to do this segment. But the fact that we're here in 2026 is something to chew on. I think it's tragic. So I'll definitely put this back into the chat. And the family, you know, if you can contribute in any way. They're already anticipating a double funeral. The grandmother has passed on before the baby. My God, such a heavy load and a senseless act. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, the conversation, the non-starting conversation of ShotSpotter and when will it be replaced? Are you falling for it? I'm always interested to know where people's mindsets are, but your leadership, your local elected leadership, this is their concentration. Many of whom never had a ShotSpotter in their community because they live in white affluent communities. But for the Black ones that do, the whole concept of ShotSpotter psychologically disturbs me, because it's an indication after you've been shot. So something's wrong with that in a nutshell. So the double entendre of this and moments like this, we have some killers running around loose. The car that they use, they set it ablaze because it was stolen. So this don't even sit right with me. And we have some killers running around loose. So if you saw something, you should say something. When we come back, I see Thurgood and Keith, and I see you all in the chat. We're going to continue to talk about the question of the day. You know, when you think about racism, what is the priority in America? Is it very high? Is it likely? Is it somewhat? Or is it virtually non-existent? You tell me when we come back.
And clear as temperatures climb near 67 on this Thursday, May 14th, 2026. I'm Anna Flurnoy, and in the headlines, new this hour, a suspect is now in custody in connection with the tragic double murder of an 18-year-old high school basketball star and his Uber driver. In about an hour from now, community violence prevention groups are set to rally at the state capitol in Springfield to ask for continued state funding. And a CTA bus driver is okay this morning after being kidnapped at knife point and escaping through a window. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON Berwyn, Chicago. It's 10:01.
It's the Black Information Network. Prom photos should not have blood stains on them or bullet casings nearby, and nor should another Black mother be calling for justice. But after the shooting death of a young lady in the Memphis area, that is the sad reality.
She didn't make it to her boyfriend to take pictures. She was shot down. She only took one picture with her friends, and that's all she wanted to do was go to the park. Please, 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 I'm begging y'all. If you don't do it for nobody else, do it for Satora.
Astacia Hayes made the comments to Fox 13 television after her daughter Satora was killed last week. The mother told reporters somebody knows who's responsible.
It was way too many of you out there to not know who shot and killed my baby.
Reports say the pre-prom photos were being taken at the park when someone, for no apparent reason, started shooting. The Black mayor of Brownsville, Tennessee, William Rawls Jr., says a total of 7 people were shot, with 4 of them having to be air flighted to the hospital. Classes at school were then canceled as police investigate the cause and look for the killers. In Houston, Black Harris County Treasurer Dr. Carla Wyatt is out on bond following her arrest for DWI. According to ABC 13 TV records show, this is not her first brush with the law. Black Newark Mayor Ras Baraka faced 7 challengers as he sought a 4th term Tuesday as the chief executive of New Jersey's largest city. And he got his wish with a wide margin of victory. These were some of the comments he made to WNBC television last year as he unsuccessfully ran for governor.
We have to change the tax credits from trying to attract these corporations to helping people expand their businesses, to hire more employees, from farmers to local retail stores.
His platform may not have worked then, but fast forward to now. On Tuesday, there were several Black candidates challenging Baraka for the Newark mayor position. None of them even came close. This avoids a June 9th runoff election. And in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia, Peanut Park holds a powerful place in American history. In 1963, just months before the March on Washington, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke there to thousands about voting rights. And Black civil rights activist Moses A. Riddick Jr. helped to make that visit happen after founding the Independent Voters League. His nephew, John Riddick, recently said his uncle dedicated his life to getting people engaged, even sending family door to door with flyers. Riddick later became Suffolk, Virginia's first Black vice mayor, and he's remembered for helping to shape the city's future. For more stories of interest to the Black community, log on to BINnews.com. You can also check us out on all social media platforms. I'm Mike Stevens, on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
Drinking more water helps your body do what it's designed to do. Stay hydrated, especially during warmer days and busy schedules.
Your health, our community, for WVON.
Video gambling terminals aren't owned by us. They're owned by out-of-state corporations that have never invested in our neighborhoods or our families. They take the money, we take the hit. These machines kill union jobs and drain pension funds for first responders. When these machines move in, crime goes up, break-ins rise. Our community pays the price. We deserve good union jobs, safer streets, and real investments that stay here and build something lasting. Tell City Council, repeal video gambling terminals. Paid for by Neighborhoods Safety First Association.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Buying custom blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why Blindster.com makes it simple and affordable. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Ordering takes minutes, installation is easy, and they guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
The Chicago Blues Festival is more than a festival. It's a celebration of culture, rhythm, and legacy. We'll see you in Millennium Park June 4th through the 7th. We're WVON.
I'll play the blues.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
This is time for love's last episode. There's nowhere to go. Oh no, you made your choice. Now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. Though you hold the key, but baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. I knew just what to say. Now I found out today that all the words had slipped away. But I know there's always a chance. A tiny spark will be made, yeah. And sparks turn into flames. And love can burn once again. But I know you know, whenever you call me.
The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I'll be there whenever you need me. I'll be there. I'll be around.
And we are back. The time is 10:10. I'll be around whenever you call me. That's right. You call the Cleopatra Show, Sonya and I are all over that beat like sprinkles. And Titus got our back on the ones and twos, so ain't nothing to do but to give you the news. Isn't that something? Right when we're ending our conversation with Coach Nelson, as we raise awareness and tribute to the life of Damarion Johnson, who was cut down short, we conclude with the possibility of a suspect apprehended and the slaying of not only Damarion Johnson, but also the Uber driver. Chicago police said they are questioning a person of interest in the East Garfield Park shooting that killed a rideshare driver and a high school student who was his passenger. Rideshare driver Jason Chow, 38, and Christ the King College prep student Damarion Johnson, 18, were both murdered in the shooting in the 200 block of North Homan Avenue at approximately 8:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 7th. Police said Chow was driving Johnson when a car pulled up alongside them and someone inside opened fire, then took off. This morning, Chicago police say they're questioning a 17-year-old person of interest in the shooting, but the investigation remains open and ongoing. There was no word on whether charges were or would be pending. Johnson was a senior at Christ the King Jesuit College Prep and a talented basketball player. Those who knew him said Chow worked in finance and had started driving Uber on the side, his friend said, an alum of Palatine High School and DePaul University. He had planned to move in with his girlfriend in June. Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and a conviction in the case. So when we break the case open in TCS, we don't play. So we will be reaching out to the Crime Stoppers. And the tragedy of it all, 17 years young is who they have in custody now, but it is ongoing. The phone lines are yours, 773-591-1690. I have no joy in doing this, but I do find peace in raising up how amazing this young person was. But what makes me angry is I'm speaking in past tense. Now, the question of the day, I'm going back to it because it is a Thoughtful Thursday, and your president took to an international platform to say that he could not care, not even a little bit, about the American struggle right now in terms of our finances. All he cares about is whether or not Iran will have nuclear weapons. So my question of the day is, how much of a priority is racism in America? Is it very high, somewhat, not high, doesn't exist? Why am I talking about this? Because in our next segment, we're going down to Mississippi, and they done picked the right one on the wrong day. Anytime you want to touch the hair on the head of Congressman Benny Thompson, you gonna have to go through all of us, because Benny Thompson is loved in Mississippi and across the country, especially being a fierce leader in the Congressional Black Caucus. So, Governor Reeve, I got my eye on you. All four of them. All for them, bro, when it comes to you trying to dismantle Congressional District 2 in Mississippi. And we have some special guests coming with us shortly to talk about not only the removal, the attempt thereof, but the redistricting efforts across the 13 colonies. That's why I'm asking the question, America. What's the totem pole here? Is it racism at the top or is it at the bottom? Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's talk to Keith. Keith, welcome to WVON.
Good morning, Mrs. Draper. Good morning, Mrs. Cleopatra Draper. And can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your team, Titus and all, and everybody up in there, thank you for what you do, making this forum happen and giving us a chance to speak in it. In my opinion, racism is a thing that can't be measured because of its depth, not dead, its depth and stretch across humanity's existence. It's a thing. We've always had our prejudices and acted on them. It's exemplified in this present war of choice. I mean, Iran was solved or mitigated by our Black President Obama a while ago, but our felon is reflecting the lack of intuition, of the lack of the intuition of our society by waging this war of choice. So again, like I said yesterday, bon appetit. We helped this happen. And yes, the markets help us, but I do expect this to be short-lived in the short term versus the long term for my investment people out there.
So let me ask you this: for
Yes,
those that, because you got me opening up my portfolio real quick. Every American does not have a portfolio, but for those that do, you suggest that the peaks that we're witnessing in terms of these all-time highs are temporarily set. So what do you suggest that we do for the long term?
I am not a financial advisor. I'm not even trying to be that way. I didn't want to do that when I worked in banking. But,
you know, I was going to ask you since you opened that door.
Well, I mean, I have my opinions. I invested in dog, and as the market goes up, dog goes down, and I have another tranche coming out at $22. I expect that to be the floor. And
when you say dog, what do you mean?
DOG is
Doge.
No.
Dog.
DOG.
Oh, okay. DOG.
DOG is a ticker symbol that trades an anti Dow Jones Industrial leverage ETF.
Yeah, I see.
Leverage ETF. So when the Dow goes down, it goes up.
So you betting either way. I follow you. I got you.
Yeah. I expect the Dow to go when diesel prices and fertilizer prices hit our market because it's coming. I expect the market to correct or go into another recession, and that's just my opinion. So I'm getting ready for the Dow to fall, and there's other ones on the S&P that are more expensive. I'm sure there's one on NASDAQ also that's probably around the same price. I don't know. But right now I'm playing dog against UDOW. UDOW chases the Dow Jones. So if it goes up, if the Dow goes up, UDOW goes up also. I'm not there yet. I expect I'll buy that when it gets down around $45 a share. But that happens when the market corrects. I think that's my mad money tactic. Okay, that's that. So I expect all this stuff to happen because there are consequences to this war of choice that this felon started. That was already solved by a black man who he thinks who's too racist to believe his stuff will keep on going. Okay, so I hope that we as a society, all colors, all cultures, reflect. Hispanics were not the pivot point that hurts us all. Racism is. Reach out to voters and vote better in November. In my humble opinion, we are our own worst enemies. But when we care for ourselves, we control our destiny. Thank you, ma'am. Good day.
Absolutely. Thurgood is on the live line when we return. I'll take your calls and more, and I definitely see you all in the chat. And I want to say again, going back to Damarion Johnson, if you saw something, say something. Yes, Crime Stoppers is putting some money on the table, but a life has been stolen. A young man was cut down from our community. And this other person, Jason Chow, 38, a year younger than me. So ultimately, folks are being cut down from this world and the cruelty thereof. It could have been any of us in that Uber. Think about it like that. When we return, I'll take your calls and more.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This May, Vaughn TV brings culture to life. See For the Cause. It's a gripping drama where a rising civil rights attorney takes on the case of a father she barely knows, a former Black Panther with a past that refuses to stay buried.
On the night Mariah was born, while I was in the hospital, the police raided the house I stayed in. With no warrants, they came in and shot up the place. When they were done, 2 of my comrades were dead, 4 injured. If I hadn't gone into labor, it's very possible my life would have ended that night.
And if you missed Vaughn TV's Friday night of premieres, don't worry. There's still time to catch original series, films, and voices that move the culture forward. Watch Vaughn TV anytime on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Heart disease remains one of the leading health concerns in our communities. Eating healthier, staying active,
And managing stress can help keep your heart strong. And that's your healthy reminder.
This healthy reminder is sponsored in part by the South Suburban Chicago, Illinois chapter of The Lynx, Incorporated, and Vantiv.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
At United Fidelity Bank, our CD rates aren't just good, they're roaring. Hi, I'm Harry Malone, Vice President and Community President of United Fidelity Bank. Right now, you can open a 6-month certificate of deposit with a 4.15% annual percentage yield. That's a strong, steady way to help your money grow with confidence from the very first day. We know you have options when it comes to where to save. That's why we focus on something bigger than numbers alone. When you bank with us, you're choosing a team that takes the time to understand what matters to you and supports your financial goals with guidance that feels personal, not packaged. We're your local banking partner, committed to delivering the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by and see me and my team today to open your high-yield United Fidelity Bank CD at our Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street, or open your account anytime at unitedfidelity.com.
Rates are subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to a standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Are you ready? Not just to do hair, but to build a real beauty business.
If you're a stylist, a barber, or a beauty professional, this show is for you.
I'm Nidra Williams of Solo Beauty Supply.
I'm Dr. Lekashan, trichologist and salon owner.
Breaking down real strategy, real growth, and what it takes to win in this industry.
Tap in, lean in, and level up.
The Hair Salon Tour Show, where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. Join us Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. WVON 1690.
WVON traffic and weather now.
As you make your way inbound along the Ryan from 95th Street into downtown, we're looking at about an 18-minute trip, slow in the usual spots from 59th Street to the Chicago Skyway, then again from 35th Street to Roosevelt Road. As you make your way along the Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, and Dusambo Lakeshore Drive, things are pretty quiet there. You'll move along at the posted speed. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing a plenty of sunshine. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high right around 67 degrees. We're up to 60 now at Midway. It's 60 in South Holland and 60 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 10:24. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. It's a thoughtful Thursday. And Jay Rock Sr. said, you know, we're talking about a couple things. It's a double talk. We just had a segment in tribute to the life of Damarion Johnson, 18-year-old high school senior at Christ the King Jesuit College Prep, whose life was cut down short, riding in an Uber that was riddled with bullets by a drive-by. Once I concluded that segment, an interview with his beloved coach, McKinely Nelson, of Project Swish, founder of Project Swish, news just broke that there's a suspect in custody being questioned, 17-year-old person of interest as the shooter, but it's still open and ongoing. I'm pleading on behalf of the family that if you saw something, say something. In addition to that, Crime Stoppers is offering a $10,000 reward. So there is money on the table if that would entice you even further to speak up and speak out. When there's a mother and a father hurting and a family devastated, and it's not just exclusive to Damarion. Jason Chow, somebody loved him too. And both of whom are no longer on this earth. And what I'm saying is that could have been any of us on any given Sunday riding in an Uber. Now here it is. J. Rock Sr. saying, these scary black folks ain't opening their mouths, sis. That they culture, they hiding behind the don't speak up culture, the tuck your tails and hide culture, the complain about an everyday issue that now stands up, that no one stands up to. Community, yeah, right. Let me know when you see one. All I could do is ask. Jay speaking some truth. It drives me nuts. You know, y'all are complaining about all kind of stuff. But when one of our own is struck down, you so busy grabbing yours, tomorrow it could be yours. Let's talk to Thurgood. Thurgood, talk to me. Welcome to WVON. Thurgood? Uh-oh, Thurgood.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Yes. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed the programming this morning in regard the coach, and just very brief comments in that regard. The coach. I lost my father to cancer when I was a teenager. I'm a proud product of Chicago Public Schools, and I was blessed to have great teachers. But it was in fact a coach of mine in grammar school who inspired and challenged me. A black man relating to a black youth in the South Side of Chicago and Inglewood to go forward and to say, basically, I said, never forget, he said, so what? Who cares? Your father is dead. The world does not care. You must go forward. So I applaud that coach and his service to our community. There is so much is gained through the interaction of athletics with our young people. Now, I called initially in regard you started the session with the point that Donald Trump had said he does not care about the financial condition of the American people. All he cares about is Iran not having a bomb. And I just wanted to point out how absurd and hypocritical. First of all, he who forgets history is doomed to repeat it. Does anyone remember that in Iraq, they claimed there were weapons of mass destruction and nuclear weapons? There were none. That came at a cost of not 10 million, not 10 billion or 100. It came at a cost of $10 trillion with a T that could have been used for art for this country. The Chicago Public Schools is closing and laying off people over a $700 million deficit. Yet we are spending over $1 billion with a B in the war with Iran. And when you close schools, you encourage. We're cutting food benefits. We're cutting housing benefits. We're cutting education benefits. America's third largest city has to lay people off and hinder its school district over a deficit of $700 million, and they're spending billions of dollars per day in a war that is unjustified. Again, Iran is a sovereign nation with the right to defend itself with nuclear weapons. In fact, please recall that next door to Iran is Iraq. And that is where the 20-year Afghanistan and Iraq war, based upon lies, occurred. We spoke of moments ago. So they have a right to defend themselves. And one additional point: please note, my European brothers, that at the 1500s, you left your continental shores of Europe and went. And for the next 400, 500 years, you either enslaved or colonized the entire planet. The lines defining Iraq and Iran were drawn by Britain. They were previous British colonies. So clearly, Every nation has the right to have nuclear weapons to defend itself from invasion. So when the president says, I don't care about the American people, your ability to eat, be housed, and gas prices because of the possible threat of Iran having a nuclear weapon is absurd. One final point.
Well, I can't. Wait. We're at a hard break. I apologize, Thurgood. Listen, when we come back, Frank, I see you on the live line, but I got some special guests. You don't want to miss this.
Clear skies, temperatures climbing well into the 60s. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. New this hour, a suspect is now in custody in connection with the tragic double murder of an 18-year-old high school basketball star and his Uber coach. The Chicago Sun-Times is reporting that a 17-year-old was arrested in connection with the May 7th shooting. A $10,000 reward had been offered by Cook County Crime Stoppers. This morning, we're hearing from, here on WVON, his heartbroken coach, who reflects on Damarion Johnson's bright future, which was cut short days before accepting a full-ride basketball college scholarship.
We were going back through photos and videos, and almost all of the clips he was smiling or cracking jokes or making everybody laugh. I tried to find words to describe his relationship to the organization when we had the balloon release, and I just kind of came up with him being like the heartbeat of our foundation.
Coach McKinely Nelson founded Project Swish, and over the years, he has brought together thousands of young people through free weekly basketball leagues, life readiness initiatives, as well as public health equality programs.
It does feel a little deflating that we created these safe spaces for these kids to be safe and be in a nonviolent area, and we still lose them. It's definitely a painful feeling.
The Uber driver, Jensen Cho, who was also killed in the shooting when police say a gray SUV pulled alongside the car parked in the Garfield Park neighborhood. The Cook County Board is scheduled to meet today with public safety funding on the agenda. Commissioners are set to consider a $20 million initiative to expand violence intervention programs across the entire county. Cook County Board President Tony Prettwinkle is expected at today's meeting. She's been out sick, but working from home since late April. Well, a mother's desire to give her daughter a prom day memory has landed her a lawsuit. The city of Markham is now suing Park District Executive Quintina Brown, who authorized the landing of a chopper on May 8th for the purpose of a photo op for her 17-year-old daughter. In the suit, attorneys for the city of Markham says Brown violated city zoning laws and also created an unsafe and hazardous situation.
Since she was graduating and this was going to be a memorable experience, I just wanted to be able to provide that for her. I didn't think that it was going to blow up as much as it did.
A status hearing for the case is set for Tuesday. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 10:33.
The OPC is more than a presidential center. It's where history meets hope. In June, witness history being made. We're WVON.
It's DL Hughley.
Nick Cannon's logic is as weak as his Everybody fucking knew that Republicans freed the slaves. Everybody knew it. The last time they did something for black people was 163 years ago. You got to update your resume. Have a 5-year gap on your resume, see if it's valid. When Republicans did that, Hawaii wasn't a state. If you're going to talk about the greatest of a policy that helped black people out, it should at least be sometime after the fucking moon landing.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This Saturday on Meeting the Moment, we're talking.
That's what I call myself clicking it, and I see an image, but I don't see.
It's not just about protecting your data.
It's about for some reason.
And your credibility. Adrian Ball of Project
I'm gonna do it on my phone. I
to
think I
break
can
down
do
how
it
organizations
Saturday.
can manage risk in a digital world that never slows down. Tune in this Saturday at 12 noon for Meeting the Moment, powered by the Chicago Community Trust, right here on 1690 WVON.
It's clear that kidney disease is taking its toll on us by the number of dialysis centers in our neighborhoods. If you have kidney disease, know your treatment options and the benefits of home dialysis and transplantation. Visit blackcare.com. That's BLACKKARE.com. This health and wellness message is brought to you by the South Suburban Chicago chapter of the Links Incorporated, empowered by Vantive. Consider giving the gift of life by becoming a donor today.
Yeah.
Hey, Chicago, it's Matt McGill. We had so much fun last year. We're heading back to the Chicago Blues Festival as their official radio partner June 5th through the 7th in Millennium Park. But guess what? On Thursday, June 4th, we're going to kick things off. That's me and my buddy Sir Henry Cheatham. We're going to the iconic Ramova Theater, 3618 South Austin, and we're bringing on stage one of Chicago's favorites, the one, the only, Willie Clayton. Okay. And Chicago's own, the legendary John Primer.
Well, I'm rolling and tumbling, talking all out of my head.
You want to join us? Then reserve your free seats now at RamovaChicago.com. That's RamovaChicago.com. Then keep it right here to WVON for your chance to win VIP tickets to the Ramova and to hear more about this year's lineup. I'll see you there Thursday, June 4th at the Ramova Theater to kick off the 2026 Chicago Blues Festival, brought to you by Mayor Brandon Johnson and DCASE, the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. And now they bombed in Venezuela, they've got oil. And they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman.
That was a great setup.
That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals at $4, $6, and $8. Pick one new Biggie Deals you're craving. For a pretty Biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
WVON traffic and weather now.
At this time, things are nice and quiet on the roadways as you make your way along the Ryan, the Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, and DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You'll move along at the posted speed each way. Taking a look at our weather, beautiful bright skies. The National Weather Service just reset our high and our low. We're now looking at a daytime high of 65 and a low tonight of 40. We're up to 60 though, and Midway is 60 in Morgan Park and 60 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm feeling good.
And we are back. The time is 10:39. And listen, guys, we made it all the way to Mississippi. And with no help to Spirit, because it don't exist no more. Didn't get on Frontier. Gas is nearly $6 here. How did we appear? That's right. We joined them via StreamYard. Couldn't get down there physically. And on the live line is two dynamic mayors. And I got to give a big shout out to my super producer. Of course, she went to Holly Springs, Mississippi. Now, I've been to Holly Springs, Mississippi. I've been to Russ. I've been to, it's a 2-year institution down the street. I got to think of that name. But Russ treated us so well. I had many students go to Russ. And of course, Sonia is a graduate of Russ. And that is Democratic Mayor Kelvin Buck, former Democratic Mayor, pardon me. And then on the other end of the spectrum is the mayor of Tupelo, and he is the former Democratic Mayor Jason Shelton. And we're hanging out in Mississippi with some of the finest. The only thing I'm missing is Congressman Thompson. Now, I gave him a call yesterday, but I love me some Benny Thompson. I put up the bat signal. So I got the best of the best coming to us to tell it like a TI is about what is going on in Mississippi. Now, I gave a prelude because the governor there is very interesting. There's some interesting governors in America. And this governor, Governor Tate Reeves, has called off the Mississippi special session on judicial redistricting. And then went a step further to admit that he's working with Trump White House on redrawing congressional districts in Mississippi to try, big emphasis on try, to oust Democratic Congressman Benny Thompson. And his exact quote is, "The tenure of Congressman Benny Thompson reigning terror on the 2nd Congressional District is over," Reeves said. "It's not a question of if, it is a question of when." As my aunt would say, the sheer and unmitigated goal. Now, from Illinois to Mississippi, we have some real through lines there. But if you know something about Mississippi and you know anything about the 2nd Congressional District, the congressman is loved. And on top of that, across the country, because he's fearless and he led the charge. And I think they've been mad ever since. But who better to ask than the former mayors? So I want to welcome former Mayor Kelvin Buck and former Mayor Jason Shelton, both of whom Holly Springs and Tupelo, Mississippi. Welcome to the Cleopatra Show. Can we hear them? Uh-oh.
Well, thank you so much for having us, and glad to be here with my friend Mayor Buck from Holly Springs, and look forward to having a meaningful conversation with you today.
Excellent, excellent. And Mayor Buck, can you hear us? Oh, you're the muted. Well, I knew somebody was muted. There you go. Oh, Mayor Buck, we're going to get to you. Well, here it is. Tell us about Tupelo. Now, just to let you know, we have done some amazing shows with some talent out of Tupelo. You all also had a No Kings rally, so the Indivisible is live and well in Tupelo. It has been some unique attributes coming out of Tupelo that has made it all the way here to Chicago. So tell us about Tupelo from your leadership standpoint.
Absolutely. Tupelo's a growing city and a diverse city. And we have had several of the No Kings rally. I was proud to be able to speak at the last one on behalf of my friend District Attorney Scott Colomb, who I think people are underestimating his campaign. I think he has a great chance to win the Senate seat here this year in the senatorial elections. But, Tupelo is a diverse and growing city, and a lot of great things happening here. And, I think Tupelo is a great example or representation of the state of Mississippi in a positive way, which is not always the overarching story. When you see things like the governor's recent comments that you mentioned, that certainly is not a positive for our state or the image of our state, especially considering the history of our state. But I think, sometimes we overlook that while Mississippi has been red for a long time, the elections are getting closer and closer. We had a governor, Brandon Presley, a Democrat candidate, got over 48% of the vote. One of the last Senate elections, former Congressman Espy got over 48% of the vote as well. So we're going to win. It's just a matter of when.
I appreciate not only the optimism, but the honesty, because Mississippi, and you're not alone, but it does have an ugly history when it comes to systemic and structural racism. But to your point, statistically, if you keep beating that bag, you'll find a soft spot. I do believe that. And that's a boxing reference all day, because we're in the fight for our lives. And you understand that.
It is. We're in a fight all across the country. And, I think the Democrats, we spend a lot of time being right, being correct, that we want to do things correctly. We want to do things equitably. We want to do things fairly. We want to be right policy-wise. Whereas the other side, the MAGA side, they're bare knuckle fighters. They don't care how they win. They just want to win. They don't care about the fairness of what they're doing. They don't care about the equity of what they're doing. They understand power, and they don't care how they get it. And I think we're going to have to take the gloves off as well. And we've got to stand up for what is right, and we're going to have to do that boldly.
It comes to mind as I hear you speak, and Mayor Buck, I'm going to bring you up shortly. Power is not given, it's taken. So I want to ask Mayor Buck from Holly Springs, Mississippi, former Democratic mayor, how do you take power in this moment when we clearly don't have the electoral power to do so? Like, honestly, unless numerically things change in the House and the Senate, how do we take power? Oh, you are still muted. Uh-oh. So we're going to fix your audio, and we're going to go back to your friend, the former mayor of Tupelo. I want you to talk about Congressman Benny Thompson. For those that don't know, and I can go all day long about the congressman, but he has been of service for quite some time in the state of Mississippi. So enlighten a listening audience from your perspective.
Congressman Thompson is phenomenal. His leadership, his constituent service, the things that he does. I think people often lose sight of Congressman Thompson is the only voice for about 45% of the entire, the entire state of Mississippi. So if your congressional or your U.S. senator or your whoever the elected official may be isn't fighting for you in Tupelo or Holly Springs or down in Biloxi and Gulfport, we have to call Congressman Thompson. So he is not only providing top-level constituent service for the people in his district, he's doing it for the entire state of Mississippi and has been doing it. And then with the January 6th Commission, the Chair of Homeland Services Committee, the other important vital roles that he provides in the United States Congress, he is a renowned leader, a phenomenal person, and he is a valued asset to the state of Mississippi and to the United States of America. And I'm proud to call him a friend.
Mm-hmm. And, I appreciate hearing that because his leadership is impeccable and it is measurable. When we come back, it's under attack. I would like to understand as best we can, the overt racism that spews from the governor's office that admittedly says to the world why there's X on Congressman Thompson's back. And when we come back, the former mayor of Holly Springs, the Democratic mayor, Kelvin Buck, is joining us via phone. I would like for him to respond to that directly and the efforts of how do we take power when we are the lame ducks in electoral leadership at this moment. What do we do? You don't want to miss this. We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Sharpton. Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, and family history of kidney failure. All three put you at risk for kidney disease. We are at increased risk and should get screened. This is host LaDonna Ray. Every Tuesday in May at 3:30 p.m. during our health and wellness campaign, the National Kidney Foundation of Illinois will talk with us about kidney health, treatment options, free health screenings, and more. Tune in Tuesdays at 3:30 p.m. and go get screened. Visit kidneymobile.org or call 312-321-1500. That's 312-321-1500.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Still looking pretty good along the roadways. There are no major problems to report or delays, but we are looking at some street closures in Grant Park. Balboa is shut down in both directions between Columbus Drive and DuSable Lakeshore Drive as crews set up for the Sueños Music Festival next weekend. Taking a look at our weather, lots of sunshine, temperatures climbing nicely into the 60s. 65 is our new daytime high. Right now we're at 61 degrees at O'Hare. It's 61 in West Garfield and 61 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Alabama's got me so upset. Lurleen Wallace has made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi Goddamn.
And we are back. The time is 10:53, and you're listening to the Cleopatra Show. On the live line with me is former Democratic Mayor of Holly Springs, Mississippi, Kelvin Buck. In addition to that, joining us via StreamYard is former Democratic Mayor of Tupelo, Jason Shelton. And I was asking the question, there's an X that's been declared to be etched and sketched in the back of Congressman Benny Thompson, the Benny Thompson. A fierce leader, a valued asset in our Congressional Black Caucus and to the country in terms of his leadership with the J6 rioters as he served and led and shepherded that committee and a bunch of more, right? His resume is impeccable. And when it comes to the concept or the understanding, power is not given, it's taken. I'm asking former Democratic Mayor of Holly Springs, Mississippi, Kelvin Buck, Mayor Buck, how do we take power when we are not the majority in electoral power and leadership in the House and Senate? What do we do in this moment?
Well, thank you very much. That's an excellent question. And this is the way I would answer that question. We have many examples from our history of when our people, we had our backs against the wall. And we had to come out swinging. We had to come out fighting. And we were at a disadvantage then. This is nothing new to us. And we know that with these extraordinary measures being taken to keep us and put us back to pre-1965 Voting Rights Act, we're going to have to go to some of the same measures to fight back. Fannie Lou Hamer put it this way: we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, what do? You stand up and you go to the wall fighting. And so that means that in some cases, we're going to have to economically impact this country to make them understand. A place like Mississippi, understand that our dollars will not be spent in your businesses, in your stores, if you continue to try to oppress us and keep us out of the political spectrum. Then we're going to stop supporting you in your economic structure. So, I mean, you have to fight fire with fire here. You don't have the power in the legislature because they have majorities in both the House and Senate in the state of Mississippi. And you have a governor that certainly has no sensitivity to the concerns of the African Americans. And so I appreciate very much what Mayor Shelton has said about this matter. When they start to fight and don't care anymore what they have to use to get to the bottom line for them, we have to be the same way. And so I'm in favor of taking, the most drastic steps that we have to take to ensure that we are going to be heard, we're going to be included. If you're going to take our money and spend our money, then we're going to be included in the decisions that determine how tax dollars are used and other areas of our governmental structure are going to be run. And so we can't stand by. Benny Thompson has been on this battlefield for years. There are many in this state that have been on this battlefield for years. This is bigger than just Benny Thompson. As you know, this is a nationwide effort to silence not just Democrats, but to silence, in particular, African Americans in this process. We can't allow that to continue. And I think the best way to get some people's attention is to touch them economically. Other methods, I don't think they are as concerned about marching and things of this nature anymore. We've seen that has worked in the past, but to me, the most way to get people's attention is when you begin to impact their financial bottom line.
Help us to understand this. When it comes to Mississippi, I like data. What is the voting population?
The voting age population for African Americans, or
No.
just
No. I want to know, either of you all, the voting population of Mississippi. So the population of Mississippi, and then those that are eligible to vote and are on the rolls. How many people?
You want to take that, Mayor Shelton?
As far as the number of registered voters in the state, I don't know that off the top of my head. We've got a population of under 3 million people. My guess is probably around 1 million voters or so. We have the BVAP. Mississippi has the largest percentage of Black people of any state in the country, and that's about 38%. And again, I hope national Democratic leaders are looking at Mississippi. Mississippi is a winnable state with the resources, and if we could get enough resources to get the voter turnout at the levels that we see in some of the other states, we can win the statewide elections here in Mississippi. And kind of to touch on your other question too, we have to fight back. You're seeing after the Supreme Court decision, states like Louisiana, Tennessee, acting immediately to shift the balance of power. In states like Mississippi and South Carolina, you're seeing a pause, not because the right-wing leadership is any different. It's because if they change the districts in South Carolina and Mississippi, like Congressman Clyburn said, you're going to make the other districts much more competitive for Democrats. So in Mississippi,
Hold tight, gentlemen, because I was told that you all want to hang out with me a little longer. When we come back, I have 2 former Democratic mayors from Mississippi on the live line with us, and former mayor of Tupelo, Jason Shelton, just broke down that the population of Mississippi is a little under 3 million. So we're estimating about 1 million or so are eligible to vote and perhaps are on the rolls. When we come back, he said something. 38% of the population of Mississippi is predominantly Black. They have the largest concentration of Black people in a state and anywhere else in the country, and it's winnable. I want you all to chew on that. When we come back, I am interested to know in what ways are the voting populations turning up and showing out historically when it comes to Mississippi now that we know what's at stake for the democracy of what's left in our country. You don't want to miss this.
Sunny and clear as temperatures climb into the mid-60s on this Thursday, May 14th, 2026. I'm in Illinois, and in the headlines, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson will be heading to the Vatican to meet the Pope soon. The Cook County Board is meeting today with public safety funding on the agenda. And this hour, community violence prevention groups are gathering at the state capitol in Springfield for a rally and a push for continued state funding. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON Berwyn, Chicago. It's 11:01.
It's the Black Information Network. Prom photos should not have blood stains on them or bullet casings nearby, and nor should another Black mother be calling for justice. But after the shooting death of a young lady in the Memphis area, that is the sad reality.
She didn't make it to her boyfriend to take pictures. She was shot down. She only took one picture with her friends, and that's all she wanted to do was go to the park. Please, 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 I'm begging y'all. If you don't do it for nobody else, do it for Satora.
Astacia Hayes made the comments to Fox 13 television after her daughter Satora was killed last week. The mother told reporters somebody knows who's responsible.
It was way too many of you out there to not know who shot and killed my baby.
Reports say the pre-prom photos were being taken at the park when someone, for no apparent reason, started shooting. The Black mayor of Brownsville, Tennessee, William Rawls Jr., says a total of 7 people were shot, with 4 of them having to be air flighted to the hospital.
The double homicide happened
Classes at school were then canceled as police investigate the cause and look for the killers. In Houston, Black Harris County Treasurer Dr. Carla Wyatt is out on bond following her arrest for DWI. According to ABC 13 TV records show, this is not her first brush with the law. Black Newark Mayor Ross Baraka faced 7 challengers as he sought a 4th term Tuesday as the chief executive of New Jersey's largest city. And he got his wish with a wide margin of victory. These were some of the comments he made to WNBC television last year as he unsuccessfully ran for governor.
We have to change the tax credits from trying to attract these corporations to helping people expand their businesses, to hire more employees, from farmers to local retail stores.
His platform may not have worked then, but fast forward to now. On Tuesday, there were several Black candidates challenging Baraka for the Newark mayor position. None of them even came close. This avoids a June 9th runoff election. And in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia, Peanut Park holds a powerful place in American history. In 1963, just months before the March on Washington, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke there to thousands about voting rights. And Black civil rights activist Moses A. Riddick Jr. helped to make that visit happen after founding the Independent Voters League. His nephew, John Riddick, recently said his uncle dedicated his life to getting people engaged, even sending family door to door with flyers. Riddick later became Suffolk, Virginia's first Black vice mayor, and he's remembered for helping to shape the city's future. For more stories of interest to the Black community, log on to BINnews.com. You can also check us out on all social media platforms. I'm Mike Stevens, on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
Sleep is not laziness, it's restoration. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night to help protect your heart, mood, and immune system.
Your health, our community, we're WVON.
Primary care that's completely you. OSF Complete Care 55 Plus is personalized primary care for adults 55 and older living with ongoing health conditions. Now accepting patients in Evergreen Park. OSFhealthcare.org/CC55.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region and, more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work, because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/meetingthemoment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, The Talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
Are you ready? Not just to do hair, but to build a real beauty business.
If you're a stylist, a barber, or a beauty professional, this show is for you.
I'm Nidra Williams of Solo Beauty Supply.
I'm Dr. Leka Sean, trichologist and salon owner.
Breaking down real strategy, real growth, and what it takes to win in this industry.
Tap in, lean in, and level up.
The Hair Salon Tour Show, where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. Join us Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. WVON 1690.
This report is brought to you by True Green. True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at TrueGreen.com and get your first application for $9.95. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Hurry, offer ends May 21st. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Things still look pretty good on the roadways as you make your way along the Ryan, the Bishop Ford, Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, and DuSable Lakeshore Drive. You will move along at the posted speed. Taking a look at our weather, bright skies, plenty of sunshine. The National Weather Service says we're headed into the mid-60s, going down into the 40s tonight. Right now, we're looking at 61 degrees at Midway. It's 61 in West Garfield and 61 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Get ready for the return of the largest blues festival in the world. The Chicago Blues Festival is heading to Millennium Park June 4th through the 7th, and WVON will be there. Will you?
Hey, the blues is all right. Hey, the blues is all right.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 11:10. It's a Thoughtful Thursday on the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, we have two scoops, the best of the best, both of whom have served in leadership, both Democratic mayors formerly, but for two different wings. One is from Holly Springs, Mississippi, and the other is from Tupelo, Mississippi. And we have Kelvin Buck. He is from Holly Springs, former Democratic mayor, and Jason Shelton, former Democratic mayor of Tupelo, Mississippi. And we're getting down to the thick of it. You know, I find Governor Tate Reeves to be very intriguing because he got time for the racism. We don't have time to improve the conditions and the quality of life of Mississippians. You know, when I think about the big atrocious bill, the impact is going to be extremely grave to red states like Mississippi, particularly because 70% of most of the population that are beneficients of supplemental nutritional assistance programming are children. And they don't discriminate in terms of their politics because they're children. They don't vote. So I asked my super producer, let's work on the numbers. The total number of registered voters in Mississippi is near 2 million. In fact, 1,953,300 people. And that sounds about right because it's nearly 3 million that are residents. Let's break it down further. Of that, 456,129 people are Democrats, 23%. Of that, 563,832 are Republican. And then here goes the hair splitter. And the mayors are, I see Mayor Shelton writing these numbers down. The independents, the others, they are 933,339 people. 47%, 47.78. So they are the bigger body, the bigger pool. Combined, they represent both the Democrats and the Republican Party. So you always have a toss-up. So to former Mayor Jason Shelton's point, Mississippi is in play. Now, I liken myself to be the black girl Kornacki when it comes to data as an operative, a political pundit, if you will. Mississippi definitely is in play if the Democratic Party was to come with the purse. Where is the money to support Mississippi to flip to purple? Here's an opportunity. 38% of residents, as Mayor Shelton said, are Black. And that is the highest density within the country. So if we're looking at this statewide, Mississippi has the highest percentage of Black residents in the country at nearly 39%. White Republicans have long had total control over state government due to an array of voter suppression policies dating back to Reconstruction, designed to keep the formerly enslaved from exercising full citizenship rights. So I want us to think about this. Now, we're talking to Mississippi because even though he's not my congressman, I live in the congressional district too here in Illinois. I love me some Benny Thompson. Congressman Thompson is loved across the country and is a fierce leader. And the cities that make up Congressional District 2 in Mississippi are parts of Jackson, Greenville, Vicksburg, Natchez, Clarksdale, Greenwood, Clinton, Cleveland, Bolton, Canton, Bryn Mawr, Raymond, and is this Utica? Yeah, it's Utica. Ultimately, if you all heard something of that rings a bell for you, what should you do? You should call your cousins, family ones, and loved ones to do what? And let's ask the mayors that are on the live line. Now that I've spit the facts and have confirmed what Mayor Shelton has shared with us, Mississippi definitely is in play by statistical data to support that there's an opportunity to invest. Who are the key players that we can uplift and the legislation to fight back voter suppression, redistricting, and the total reign of supreme of white supremacy that reeks from Mississippi? And I'm looking at Mayor Shelton first. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that.
There you go.
Yeah, so I think we've got to get the energy, the excitement, the belief that we can win here. We've got to get that message to all of our voters and potential voters. I think we need to stress that we're on the right side of virtually everything, policy wise, education, healthcare, equity, the basic morality and decency in our policies, the things that we're trying to do to support education and make there at a level playing field for everyone. We've got to get the national leaders to understand that we can win here. That Mississippi politics, the Democratic politics in Mississippi, are worth the national investment to make a difference, an early investment, not just coming in late in the game a week or two before the election, but so that we can make a sustained voter outreach effort here. And then, one of the things I heard on the break, the line "meet the moment," sort of the motto of the program. We have to meet the moment right here. We are in, I would say, a crisis situation. You mentioned the governor, and you're seeing the same thing with the MAGA leadership all over the country. They call themselves conservatives, but they're really regressives. They're not trying to, they certainly don't want to move forward. They don't even want to stay where we're at. They want the United States to go backwards to a time before the Voting Rights Act, before Brown versus Board of Education, before the Heart of Atlanta cases. So we have to meet this moment right now. We have to do it in Mississippi, and we have to do it everywhere in the country. The recent Supreme Court case on the Voting Rights Act, that's going to impact council seats in the city of Tupelo. That's going to impact Board of Supervisor seats, Board of Education seats. It's going to have a ripple effect all throughout the fabric of our society. And, the systemic racism, the systemic injustice is going to return and not go in a positive direction. So we have to meet the moment right now. We have to get our energy level up, and we have to fight, and we have to do everything that we can to take back power in the United States Congress and Senate, and then in 2 years absolutely take the White House back, so that we can begin to change some of these regressive policies.
I appreciate you identifying the regression, because when I think of conservatives, I think of fiscal responsible people that are penny pinchers, extremely, right? They've ballooned the deficit. They've done everything juxtaposed to the principle.
That you've seen through the Trump years, every talking point of the Republican Party goes out the window when it's convenient. It's the nationalist movement. It's basically the only bedrock principle of the right wing, the MAGA movement. Everything else is negotiable. Everything else is debatable. They don't care about the debt. They don't care about health care. They don't care about any kind of policy that actually works. So they really just care about power. And then what really seems to churn the butter, so to speak, for that party is the hate, the things, to cause suffering to people who aren't in a position to fight back. And that's what we have to do as a political party all across the country. We have to join forces, be energized, know that we are on the right side of history right here in this moment, and do everything that we can to win.
Well, one thing about it, when we come back, Kelvin Buck, former Democratic mayor of Holly Springs, Mississippi, has something he wants to add to this. And the phone lines are definitely lit, 773-591-1690. I want to take your calls while we have the mayors that are hanging out with us all the way from Mississippi, because I am in agreement with both of them. Mississippi is in play, and I'll be sure to relay the message to the DCCC, because they got the bag. You don't want to miss this.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's D.L. Hughley.
Tucker Carlson took it to the extreme and apologized to the electorate. I think Tucker knows that an 80-year-old demented man who's in his pants. Might not be the future anymore. I don't know that it is regret, but I think that he's done something I haven't seen very many people do, which is to take the onus on themselves and say they apologize and to see what they could do to make it right.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Video gambling terminals aren't owned by us. They're owned by out-of-state corporations that have never invested in our neighborhoods or our families. They take the money, we take the hit. These machines kill union jobs and drain pension funds for first responders. When these machines move in, crime goes up, break-ins rise. Our community pays the price. We deserve good union jobs, safer streets, and real investments that stay here and build something lasting. Tell City Council, repeal video gambling terminals. Paid for by Neighborhoods Safety First Association.
When your body needs real nourishment, don't settle for ordinary supplements. At the Aloe Shop, we believe wellness starts with nature. That's why our premium aloe and nutritional products are crafted with the highest standards, pure, potent, and made to support your health from the inside out. From digestion and energy to immune support, the Aloe Shop helps you feel your best every day. The Aloe Shop at 117 East 95th Street in Chicago. Call 866-256-3747 or reach us online at thealoeshop.com. Come on in and get healthy. Now available at Living Fresh Market in Forest Park and at Pete's Market throughout Chicagoland.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum. From cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Still nice and light on the expressways. No major changes in your travel time. So we are tracking a few incidents. Right now on the south side is 75th and Lawrence. There's some police activity. Apparently, authorities are investigating a shooting. Downtown, you want to look out for an accident at the intersection of McClurg and Erie. And as you make your way outbound along the Stevenson, we are seeing some moving road work right now between Damon and Pulaski. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing some bright skies, but we're seeing a few clouds as well. Temperatures are expected to climb in the mid 60s. 41 tonight. We're up to 62 at Midway. It's 62 in Chatham and 62 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flurnoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 11:24. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. And I have two Democratic former mayors. One is from Holly Springs, Mississippi. The other with Tupelo, Mississippi. And on the live line is former Democratic Mayor Kelvin Buck. And, you know, Mayor Buck, when I think about the future of Mississippi, You know, what about Mississippi makes it enticing for Black folk to come and want to live there for those that are already struggling there while being Black in Mississippi?
Well, listen, I've lived in Mississippi all my life. I love this state. I think this is a great state to live and bring up a family in. We, like many other states across this nation, whether they're in the North or the South, struggle with certain issues relating to race. Of course, it's nothing new to this country, any part of this country. And so we're very familiar with that. But what I would say to you is that we're living in a time in this country where it really doesn't matter as much about what state you live in. This fight is nationwide, and in Mississippi, I think we have a unique opportunity to build a coalition. Look, we're at the bottom in a lot of categories relating to quality of life, whether it be healthcare, education, per capita income, whatever you want to talk about. Many times we find this state at the bottom. So what is it with a state with the kind of population we have, demographics we have? We can't build a kind of coalition that can vote in their best interest and vote for people who are fighting for education, who are fighting for farmers, who are fighting for workers to have livable wages. I mean, these are the issues that we are all fighting for. These are quality of life issues, kitchen table issues that affect everybody. And so I'm very optimistic about the opportunity that Mississippi has to turn this thing around. There's no real reason why we can't build that coalition. Working families across this state, across racial lines, coming together and voting in their best interest for people who understand the challenges of trying to make it in this country, in this state. Gas prices, when they go to $4.50 a gallon, that helps. That doesn't apply to race. That applies to everybody. Everybody's got to pay that, and it's a very difficult thing to do. So we've got to start voting in our best interest. And I think the coalition that we got to build includes Black and white citizens in Mississippi coming together and voting in their best interest. And I think we have this opportunity now. And if I
want to make sure I get some calls. I want to get some calls in while I still have you all. Let's talk to Brother Hall. Brother Hall, welcome to WVON.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cleopatra. Certainly, could nobody do the show like you. You certainly have brought the real deal to us, so we can see it from a national perspective. I certainly want to salute the two people you have on today because of their past work. I know they've done good work, and I, too, am a strong, strong supporter of the one and only, and you know who I'm talking about. That was the one who tried to send Trump to jail, wasn't it?
That's right. That's Congressman Benny Thompson. He was the lead honcho. He was the chairman.
Yeah. He got a lot of visibility, and certainly us in these other states got a chance to see him. But let me say this right quick to you. I don't know who said that Mississippi with white folks and Black folk need to come together and do what they need to do. But I'm convinced, and it's not that I'm anti anybody. I'm just pro. But I'm convinced that this is a trick with many of those Southerners. They've been playing this trick for years. I think what Black folks have to do at this point, because they're mega crazy. I don't care what goes down, whatever he do is okay. So since that's the case, maybe we need to do what one of your guests said earlier, is that we got to hit them in their pockets. We got to do what we did back during the boycott, the bus boycott. They pulled up on you and said, I'm good, I'm walking. You know, we just have to stand for something or we'll fall for anything, and that's what's been crippling us. It ain't them, it's us.
Good call.
We have to do this.
Good call, Brother Hall. Listen, if I can kidnap you all for another 15 minutes, because I'm sure Pam has called to talk to not me, but you all, and Brother Tommy has been holding tight. When we come back, is it an economic thing? Because do you only see green? Because money talk. When we come back, I want to hear who's on the money phone, because Mississippi is on the line to do something extraordinary, and they have a potential, but they can't do it without funding. We'll be back after this break.
Sunny skies, temperatures climbing in the mid-60s. Good morning, I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. At this hour, community violence prevention groups are gathered at the state capitol in Springfield to ask for continued state funding. Group organizers say their programs are helping to reduce shootings and murders in the city and surrounding areas and would like to see their programs continue. Well, a suspect is now in custody in connection with the tragic double murder of an 18-year-old high school basketball star and his Uber driver. The Chicago Sun-Times is reporting that a 17-year-old was arrested in connection with the May 7th shooting. A $10,000 reward had been offered by Cook County Crime Stoppers. Well, this morning, a heartbroken coach reflects here on WVON on Damarion Johnson's bright future, which was cut short just days before accepting a full-ride basketball college scholarship.
We were going back through photos and videos, and almost all of the clips, he was smiling or cracking jokes or making everybody laugh. I tried to find words to describe his relationship to the organization when we had the balloon release, and I just kind of came up with him being like the heartbeat of our foundation.
Coach McKinely Nelson founded Project Swish. Over the years, he has brought together thousands of young people through free weekly basketball leagues and a ton of life readiness initiatives.
It does feel a little deflating that we created these safe spaces for these kids to be safe and be in a nonviolent area, and we still lose them. The gun violence is definitely a painful feeling.
The Uber driver, 38-year-old Johnson Cho, was also killed in the shooting. Well, imagine free tuition at an Ivy League university. Well, the University of Chicago is launching a free tuition program. Come fall of 2027, the university will offer free tuition for undergraduate students from families with an annual income of less than $250,000. The college will also guarantee free housing and meals for students from families with incomes less than $125,000. The average financial aid package for undergraduate students at the University of Chicago is more than $75,000. And the NFL is releasing the 2026 regular season schedule tonight. Several games have been announced already, including holiday and international matchups. This season introduces the first ever Thanksgiving Eve game with the Green Bay Packers visiting the Los Angeles Rams on Netflix. Well, the 3-game Thanksgiving Day slate includes the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions, the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Buffalo Bills facing the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL will fully unveil the schedule tonight at 7 Central Standard Time. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 11:33.
Ready to fire up your taste buds, Chicago? Black-owned Kodo Hibachi serves fresh, authentic hibachi and sushi, served with a smile. Grab takeout, order delivery, or dine in casual style. No flaming show, just flavor that steals the spotlight. And hey, tell them WVON is your favorite radio station and get 10% off your order. Visit them at 258 West 31st Street. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 8. Friday and Saturday till 9. Sundays till 7. And don't forget, tell them WVON is your favorite radio station and get 10% off your order. Kodo Hibachi, where flavor meets culture.
Pull up to the flagship location at 258 West 31st Street and stay tuned. The Kodo family is growing. New location coming soon.
Attention shoppers, after 65 years, Sid's Clothing and Hats is hanging up their hats, and you're invited to the retirement sale of a lifetime. Now through May 30th, everything in the store is on massive discount. That's every hat, every cap, and every accessory. It's our biggest sale ever, with prices you have to see to believe. Visit Sid's today at 609 West Roosevelt Road. While hats last and stock is moving fast, you'll find styles you love at prices you'll adore. Hurry in, retirement sale ends May 30th. Sid's Clothing and Hats, where style meets savings. One last time.
South Chicago isn't just a neighborhood, it's a community full of promise. That's why Fifth Third Bank is investing in its future through our neighborhood program. We're working alongside local leaders, small businesses, and residents to create jobs, expand home ownership, and build inclusive infrastructure. Because when South Chicago thrives, we all thrive. This is making a Fifth Third better. Learn more about our community investments at 53.com. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
This health tip is sponsored by OSF Complete Care 55+. Your health matters. Don't wait for symptoms. Schedule your checkups, stay active, and fuel your body right. Small steps today can protect your tomorrow.
With your help, the Illinois Lottery generated $784 million for education last year. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise even more. Be smart.
Okay. All right.
18 or older to play. Game odds are available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
CTA is coming to WVON, Sundays 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbelievable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy.
WVON traffic and weather now.
New this traffic report as you make your way outbound along the Kennedy. Do look out for a 5-car accident at Addison. Right now, traffic backed up to Diversey. Your travel times out from downtown to the airport now 45 minutes, but we do expect that travel time to possibly go higher because there is some lane blockage there. Taking a look at your weather, we're seeing some sunshine today. Temperatures climbing nicely in the 60s. The mid-60s are our official daytime high. We're up to 62 at Midway, is 62 in South Shore, and 62 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Renoi on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 11:37. And listen, guys, if you are heading to Lincoln Park, it's the Mayfest this weekend. Hop on board Metro and get there quickly, comfortably, and safely. Plus, the weekend passes are available, and the fares are for every kind of rider. Metro gets you to the fun without breaking the bank. Purchasing tickets is easy with the Ventra app. And Metra's 95% on-time rate means you can skip stressful traffic and get there fast. So this weekend, stop sitting in never-ending gridlock and paying for expensive parking. Take Metra so you can drive less and do more. You know, I've been on Metra all this week. It's been a smooth ride. You know, I rarely tell you what I did last night, let alone what I did this morning. Now, this morning I did drive to work. Amen. But you know, Metra is just so accessible. I really appreciate this, all of quickly, comfortably, and safely. All of that is true. It is what it is. I'm going back to the phone lines because I have two former Democratic mayors from Mississippi on the live line with me. And I appreciate both of you all and the time you share with us. Because Mississippi is definitely in play statistically and spiritually, emotionally, physically, because America does care about Mississippi. I know we do, all the way here from Chicago. I'm going to talk to Pam. Pam, what's on your mind? Welcome to WVON. Pam.
You're welcomed, and thank you to the mayors. I recall that SB election, and I thought he had it, and I really wished the Democratic Party at that time, and if they would now invest more in our southern states, because we shouldn't have relinquished those votes in the first place. So to the mayors, I honed in on something they said. Financially, we have to hurt this country in their pockets. 2 times we've had significant change through violent action and through boycotts. And I don't want to see any violence. I don't want to see this country burn down or another civil war. Although Cleopatra, the other side seems like they don't care. So I'd like to hone in on the financial part. And what do the mayors think would be a good strategy to, I say, apply economic sanctions to this country? And then the other question is, if you finance Mississippi and other southern states, how much money and where do you see the money going? To voter mobilization, registration? Where do you want those monies to go? And we have to push the Democratic Party to do more.
Good
we
questions.
should have never relinquished the South.
Good questions, Pam. Thank you so much for the calls. Who would like to go first? I'm looking at Mayor Buck. Mayor Buck, how do we make Mississippi feel the pain economically? What would be the strategic strategy that you would consider putting in play?
Well, you know, it's a common practice on this country's part to impose economic sanctions on countries that they feel are not supporting our values and our interests. And so when we talk about this, African Americans and citizens who are of goodwill, who want to see things change, we know that one of the most significant ways to impact or make that change occur is to impose some kind of a financial hardship on those that are in power. And we've seen it work. We've seen it work as recently as when it came to the state flag. I mean, you know, when people said that they were no longer going to come to Mississippi and spend and do big conferences in the state of Mississippi or play major sporting events in the state of Mississippi because of the flag, then things changed. We've seen that happen over and over again. So there are many opportunities for us to economically impact this state and this nation, as far as I'm concerned. I hate to isolate Mississippi, but I know we're talking about Mississippi, but this goes beyond Mississippi. I think we have to really look at this thing a lot more broadly and look at even in Chicago and Illinois, you could have these same kind of impact because, you know, last I checked, the current administration president is from Florida or New York. So he's imposing all these kinds of bad decisions, policies on the people. So I'm in favor of economic sanctions. To answer the other questions, look, we should put every dime we got in the state of Mississippi into voter mobilization and voter registration and voter education, all of the above that the lady mentioned, all of the above. The National Democratic Party is missing a golden opportunity when they don't invest in this area, in this state, because of the potential for building the kind of coalition that will be needed to win some close elections. We've been very close, as the mayor has indicated. And just a few, well, it goes without saying that investing funds into campaigns is very important. And Mississippi is no different.
Well, thank you. I want to get one more call. I see Tommy is on the live line. Tommy, welcome to WVON.
First of all, Ms. Draper, let me say good morning to you. And as far as politicians go, the fact that Ms. Draper and Attorney Kimberly Goen is not representing this city. I have been to Mississippi twice, once as a child. The second time I went back going through Montgomery, I saw the big sign up there that said, "Welcome to Wallace Country." Here is my point. One of these days, some of you Negroes are going to understand one simple thing. One, first of all, you don't tell people what you're going to do. This thing with hold our money, maybe you ain't paying attention. They're laying all of us off. How many women have lost their jobs? How many men have lost their jobs? TSA agents have lost their jobs. They don't give a damn about what color you are. And more importantly than that, how long does someone have to keep telling you by the historical fact and figures of bad cop, good cops, and that's what both of these parties are. And for the love of God, they're still riding around in Mississippi with a defeated battle flag. All you need to understand about what's going on in America is that a civil war broke out, and they used black people as an embargo to hurt the South. And from that moment to this moment, they have been waiting and planning and plotting for this. And now you see it not only all over the country, but now also in the world. Try that. Maybe one of these days, unity, 7 principles of Kwanzaa. It's the only way out of this. And guess what? Our ancestors didn't die for us to capitulate and have everybody else tell us about us. And we walk around here dumb as a box of rocks. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Tommy. And before I say goodbye to the mayors, Mayor Buck, what would you say would be a strategy you can exclusively put in play or suggest to put in play to wake up Mississippi?
Well, I think the most prominent strategy we got now is the oppressive policies of this current administration.
I'm sorry, Mayor Buck. I meant to say Mayor Shelton. Forgive me. I
Okay,
already
all
allowed
right.
you to
Very
respond.
good.
Mayor
Yeah,
Shelton,
you did.
forgive me.
So to expand on what Mayor Buck said, we've got to have an all of the above strategy to winning the elections in Mississippi. I would implore the DCCC, the Democrat National Committee, to come in early, not to wait until 2 weeks before the election and then try to pull off an upset. If they will invest now, play the long game, we can win. You mentioned the numbers. There are more voters in Mississippi that would vote Democrat than Republican if we could all go vote. The last governor's election, we had about 800,000 people actually go vote. The Democrat candidate got 48% of the vote. The Republican candidate got just barely over 50% of the vote. And then other candidates got 2% of the vote. So we can win in Mississippi if we get those investments. And just like Mayor Buck said, it's got to be outreach, it's got to be education, it's got to be registration, and then we've got to get the enthusiasm built up, the energy built up. So we have to do it all, and we've got to do it now.
Well, I appreciate both of you all. I'll definitely be leaning on you all as we get closer to November, because ultimately what you all are chipping at, particularly you, Mayor Shelton, don't invest in the 11th hour. And historically, that is the playbook of the Democratic Party across the country.
Right.
And it is on all levels,
yeah.
Local, state, congressional, and it's not working
Right.
because it actually offends the constituent more than anything, because it makes them feel like, why are you just now talking to me? So
Right.
the long game. So I am with you. You have my support, particularly as we look towards 2028, right? In terms of the long game of how do we change our behavioral pattern from a communicative standpoint to the base. If we want to extend the base, widen the tent, then you have to invest. And then 2, from a Mississippi standpoint and across the country, you have to make them feel. Because my mother said, if you can't hear, you feel. And that economic pinch is what they respond to. I appreciate both former Democratic Mayor Kelvin Buck of Holly Springs, Mississippi, and former Democratic Mayor Jason Shelton of Tupelo from joining us and hanging out with us here on the TCS. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, guys. We're going to let them go, but when we come back, I have a special announcement. As we push onward in this conversation, there's a special conversation transforming right here at the national headquarters of the Rainbow Push Coalition, and I'm going to expound upon it because it is intrinsically tied to the conversation today. You don't want to miss this.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Ready to enhance your financial knowledge? WVON and JP Morgan Chase have come together to provide the information you need to become your most prosperous. Matt McGill, host of WVON's Matt McGill Show, is creating dialogue around your money matters. Check out these priceless gems of knowledge. Let's open the treasure and see what's in store.
talking to Cassandra Betts from Chase. She's here to help us manage our financial stress, which I'm sure a lot of us have. Cassandra, what causes our money stress?
Yes, money anxiety can come from all sorts of places. Economic ups and downs like inflation or recessions, they can definitely make things feel really, really shaky in our lives. Debt is also a big one too. When we think about owing money, especially with high interest, that can really, really weigh on you. Then there are those unexpected expenses like surprise medical bills, car repairs, all those things can throw you off completely. Worrying about job security or even finding stable work, that also adds to the big stress in our lives. When we think about big life changes that are happening every day to all of us, like getting married, getting divorced, having kids, all of those different things can mess with your finances. Not having enough savings for emergencies or retirement can also make the future seem scary if we get too stuck on focusing too far in the future. And plus, if you're not sure how to manage your money, that can also lead to bad decisions and more stress. And so knowing these triggers can actually help you tackle money anxiety and help you feel more balanced about your finances.
Guys, you see why it's so important to have a community banking partner to help us make some of these decisions and understand some of the options that are available to us. Cassandra, let's talk about solutions. What's the first step you would take to lower our financial stress?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing that you need to do is really determine what your financial priorities are. All right, we got to understand what's important to you. Those are the things that matter. Everyone has different priorities. We all find things that are valuable to us in different ways. We have got to start with identifying what those financial priorities are. Once you are in that space of figuring out those priorities, it's super, super important because then you're able to focus on exactly what matters. And then you're able to make sure you're using and spending your money wisely at the same time. So by knowing what's important to you, Matt, you can really set clear goals and avoid spending on things that don't align with those plans. And when you do it this way, you can direct your time and money towards things that matter to you, okay? Like saving for retirement, maybe paying off some debt, building an emergency fund, taking a vacation. And then when you understand your priorities, that also helps you make smarter decisions related to your money. And then in turn, that's going to help you cut down on stress and then give you more of a sense of control over your finances and your financial future. And so essentially in the end, Matt, having this clarity means you can work towards your short-term and your long-term goals, whatever those are. And then that will also lead to more secure and satisfying financial life.
Thank you, Matt. For more information, visit jpmorganchase.com.
Hey, Chicago, this one is for you. Join OG Mr. Rick for the OG Culture Report every Thursday night from 9 to 12 right here on WVON 1690 AM. We're talking the culture, our stories, the streets, politics, entertainment, our struggles, our wins, and the voices that matter. Don't miss it. Every Thursday night, 9 to 12, the OG Culture Report with yours truly, OG Mr. Rick on WVON 1690. That's it. That's all.
This is Rufus Williams, and I've got something special for you. I am proud to announce that we're launching the Rufus Williams Travel Club in conjunction with Advantage International. Our first trip, we're staying in the United States and heading to one of the most stunning destinations for culture to cuisine. Join us October 8th through 12th as we explore the charm, the beauty, and the history of Charleston, South Carolina. This isn't your typical getaway. We're walking through history and standing where our stories began. From the roots of Gullah Geechee culture to the International African American Museum, from cobblestone streets to waterfront views. This is more than a trip. It's a cultural vibe. To find out more, visit WVON.com and click the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner. And keep listening for more details. The Rufus Williams Travel Club will turn curiosity into understanding, one destination at a time. We are WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Authorities are on the the scene right now of that multi-vehicle crash on the outbound Kennedy at Addison. Earlier, they reported that it was a 5-vehicle situation. Now they've, after assessing what happened, is down to 2. Apparently the other 3 cars did not make contact. Your travel times traveling outbound from downtown to the airport, as suspected, now up almost a 50-minute trip. Taking a look at our weather, we are beginning to see a few clouds roll in, but temperatures do continue to climb. We're headed to a daytime high somewhere in the mid-60s. We're up to 63 at O'Hare. It's 63 in Harvey and 63 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. The time is 11:55. Listen, if you love style, this is your moment. Sid's Clothing and Hats is saying goodbye. Everything is on sale. Step into 609 West Roosevelt or give them a call, 312-421-3332. Fresh looks, crazy prices. Don't miss out. All right. I enjoyed my time with the mayoral leadership, the former mayoral leadership out of Mississippi. So big ups to Tupelo and Holly Springs, Mississippi. That's right. When it comes to the future of Mississippi, they're definitely in play. But all roads lead to the South is transforming in a special way across the Pettis Bridge. And on the StreamYard for us to see is a special message from the national headquarters right here at the Rainbow Push Coalition under the fierce leader, our newest leader. That's right, Yusuf Jackson. He's serving as president and CEO of the Rainbow Push Coalition. And the message this Saturday is justice and the American map, redistricting, representation, and the road ahead. And who's moderating is your very own. That's right, your favorite millennial, myself, Cleopatra Draper. I'll be introducing our guest speakers, Congressman Cleo Fields, hailing straight out of the 6th District in Louisiana. Our Speaker of the House, that's right, Emmanuel Chris Welch, and the President of the Chicago Teachers Union, Stacey Davis Gates. I look forward to moderating this Saturday. It's going to be a special forum only for you. And of course, we're serving a hot, fresh breakfast. You don't want to miss that opportunity to fellowship before we organize. And why do we need to get in this fight? Because just because we're North doesn't mean that we're not on the table in terms of being in play for the representation of this country. And what is impacting Louisiana and the 13 states that were once colonies is real. And for Congressman Cleo Fields to make it all the way to Illinois is a big deal. We are the home of the national headquarters right here of the Rainbow Push Coalition at 930 East 50th Street. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. and the forum begins at 10 a.m. And I look forward to this opportunity to talk about this threat to America. The discussion will examine how redistricting, race, and recent court decisions are impacting representation and voting rights. This is real. So please join me, not just because I'm moderating. I'm a big old push baby, and I enjoy my time to serve under the umbrella. But join me because we're in a fight for our lives. We pulled up to Mississippi because the governor, in his infinite wisdom, decided to table for now the opportunity to redistrict, only to attack one of the biggest attributes to Mississippi governance, and that is Congressman Benny Thompson, who has served fearlessly and tirelessly and with all of his might as a Congressional Black Caucus leader, but serving more than 45% of the population of Mississippi. So he goes above and beyond the fray, and they would like to eliminate him. And I would like to say, not today, not ever. And you heard the governor. It's not a matter of when. The fact that it's coming. So I look forward to welcoming Congressman Cleo Fields to not only Chicago, but to the national headquarters right here at the Rainbow Push Coalition. And I want you all to be present. We have the first Black Speaker of the House. And I seen somebody in the chat say we ought not praise when we have the first of anything. And Donald, I beg to differ. I beg to differ because Speaker of the House, Emmanuel Chris Welch, has served without scandal, without drama, without issue, after a 40-plus year reign. Alongside him, I'm going to raise up Stacey Davis Gates, the fierce president of not only the Chicago Teachers Union, but the Illinois Federation of Teachers, the IFT. That is a big deal. And it's going to be a big day at the Rainbow Push Coalition. And I want you all to come and spend time with us and get in the thick of this fight, because redistricting is coming to a state near you, because we're heard across the country. I look forward to being with you all tomorrow for Funny Clip Fridays. Who's going to join me? Let me spill a little tea. Is Mayor of Pawa. That's right. The mayor of Markham is going to come and hang out in the studio. And I look forward to hearing his take on the helicopter mom that flew a helicopter plane for prom, and public safety, and the state of the Southland. So beyond the prom debacle, the state of the Southland is at the tippy top of his cerebral when it comes to his leadership in the city of Markham. So join us. And then I'm going to have a special roundtable to close us out at the 11 o'clock hour. You don't want to miss Funny Clip Fridays, because Kevin Hart had a lot to say, and it's trending. Whether he said it or not, it was said in his name. You don't want to miss it. 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Bright skies, temperatures climbing into the mid-60s on this Thursday, May 14th, 2026. I'm Annette Vernoy, and in the headlines, a CTA bus driver is okay today after being kidnapped at knife point and escaping through a window. A suspect is now in custody in connection with the tragic double murder of an 18-year-old high school basketball star and his Uber driver. And Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson will be heading to the Vatican to meet the Pope soon. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON Chicago. Berwyn, Chicago, it's 12:02.
Here's BIN News Now. Disturbing dash cam video of an Arkansas police officer forcing a driver off the road. Fox 13 News reports the car flipped over. The cop draws his gun, demanding the black woman driver get out, and a baby emerges from the back door of the vehicle.
Got a toddler walking out of the back. Got a baby. Come stand right here.
The trooper says he clocked the driver going at 80 miles per hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. The driver says she didn't stop because she didn't have a license. A Florida judge has approved a prosecutor's request for Tiger Woods' medical records. That means they're now part of his DUI case, according to ESPN. The 50-year-old black